The Grand Library was usually filled with the soft rustling of pages and the gentle hum of focused minds. Not today. Today, something was different. 5 students, Roy, Rob, Joni, Anne, and Peter, sat around a large oak table. Their usual study spot, nestled in the back corner, felt cold, unfamiliar.
Does this room seem off to you guys?
Roy, never one to hide his confusion, spoke first. The others exchanged uneasy glances. The once brightly lit room was now cast in an unsettling gloom. Books on shelves appeared blurry, almost melting into the shadows.
Maybe they're doing renovations, or there's a power outage?
Rob, always practical, tried to rationalize, though his voice lacked conviction. The air hung heavy and still, devoid of the usual library sense of old paper and leather. A shiver ran down Anne's spine. This was far from a simple power outage.
This is really freaking me out.
Joni, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination, reached out to touch a nearby bookshelf. Her fingers met with an unexpected resistance, as if passing through a dense fog. She whispered, pulling her hand back quickly.
It's like we're in a dream or a nightmare.
Anne, usually the quiet one, surprised everyone with her sudden outburst. The shadows around them seemed to deepen, pressing in on them like a suffocating blanket.
Okay, this isn't funny anymore.
Peter muttered, his usual jovial demeanor replaced with a nervous frown. The silence that followed his statement was broken only by the sound of their own ragged breathing.
Let's not panic. There has to be a logical explanation.
Roy, always the leader of the group, tried to regain control of the situation, forcing his voice to sound calm.
Maybe it's some kind of gas leak? We should get out of here just in case.
But where would we go? What if whatever's happening here follows us?
Rob, ever the pragmatist, chimed in, though the lack of any unusual odor made his suggestion seem unlikely. Anne's voice, barely a whisper, countered with a thought that hung in the air, heavy and ominous.
Joni, Anne, any ideas? You guys are the science brains.
Roy, desperate for a solution, turned to their resident science whizzes, hoping their combined knowledge might offer some explanation, some way out of this unsettling situation.
It's like we're not entirely here, like we're somewhere else.
Joni, lost in thought, tapped a finger to her lips, her eyes scanning the distorted surroundings.
Joni, what if you're right? What if we've somehow slipped into another dimension?
The others stared at her, their expressions a mixture of disbelief and morbid curiosity. The idea, as outlandish as it seemed, held a certain chilling plausibility in the face of the inexplicable situation they found themselves in.
It's not as crazy as it sounds. There are theories.
Theories about what?
Peter pressed, his voice edged with anxiety. He wasn't sure he wanted to hear the answer, but the suspense was too much to bear.
Theories about other dimensions, parallel universes, and sometimes...
Sometimes what?
Roy asked, his heart pounding in his chest. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the precipice of something both terrifying and extraordinary.
Sometimes they bleed into our own.
And in that moment, as the shadows deepened and the air grew heavy with unspoken dread, the 5 students knew that they were truly lost. Lost in a place where the familiar rules of reality no longer applied. Lost in the shadows of a dimensional mystery